We are live. Welcome, everyone, to Friday's Inspiration. And happy Easter. We have Easter coming up on Sunday, so this is maybe a special weekend for you. I'll be spending it with a real bunny. I'm bunny sitting this weekend. How appropriate for Easter. Yesterday, I saw 11:11 twice, which I recorded, and it just feels like the ones are really talking to me, which is why I do this every week at 11:11, because the ones have to do with how our thoughts create our reality. So we have some really important stuff to talk about today, which is all about feminine energy versus female or female energy. And the reason that this is important is because there's a lot of misconceptions around the feminine energy, and there is a lot of fears around stepping into our full power. So first of all, let me tell you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about feminine energy. What is feminine energy? What is female energy? So when I'm talking about female energy, I'm talking about just gender specific. So if you were born with a vagina, you are a female. And so, and I'm not talking about dysmorphia, or maybe that's not the right word, but when people are confused about their gender identity, maybe they're in a female body, they have a vagina, but they maybe don't really feel like a female. So that's a whole nother topic. There's a lot of reasons that can be. You could be running someone else's energy. There can be past life stuff, lots of reasons that can happen, but we're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about how we can step into more of our feminine energy, which I'll define in a minute. And this is an energy that everyone carries, everyone holds in their energy field, whether you're a male, whether you're a female, whether you have a vagina, whether you have a penis. So either way, feminine energy is uber important, and I'll tell you why. So the feminine energy is the energy of the heart. It is the energy that allows us to be introspective, intuitive, tapping into that deep inner knowing in our hearts, that infinite intelligence. In this heart is also the place where we know that we have the ability to self-generate love. And right now on the planet, there is a massive attempt to hold down this feminine heart energy, whether you're a man or a woman. And this is a number that can be measured. It's one of the measurements I include in my vibrational altitude report. If you've never had one, it's incredibly valuable because I measure about 40 different things. I've included a couple new things like spells, curses, which dimension you operate, and which dimensions you access. So all of these things are really important to know where we are in our ascension, which merely means our growth, our evolution, our expansion, as we step into higher and higher vibrations. And that's going to happen with or without us. So we can either wake up and tune into what's really going on and embody more of our brilliance, more of our light, or we can continue to stay asleep. Maybe we'll be among those who get the jab. And if you're asleep, then you're going to be asleep to the real consequences of what you're doing to your body. But we're not here to talk about that. So getting back to this feminine energy. So in my book, I have a whole chapter around this topic, because it's kind of like the heart of my book, the heart of what stepping into your feminine power is all about. So this feminine energy is a challenge for a lot of people because there's a couple reasons. One is many of us in many past lives, now that it's this time that we're living in, are being called forward to step into more of their intuitive, knowing, deep, heartfelt feminine energy. But they keep bumping up against those old lifetimes where they were killed for stepping into their power. Maybe they were burned at the stake for being a witch because they knew too much. And people are still threatened by this deep inner knowing, where you can see beyond people's masks. If everyone were able to step into their feminine energy, the masks would disappear. We could, and I also mean these literal masks, but I'm talking about the identities that people hide behind that are not their true identities. And we would be able to see beyond all of that. There'd be no more game playing because everybody could see, everybody would know, everybody would be in that deep feminine intuition that sees everything that's going on. Wouldn't that be amazing to be able to live in a world where everybody could just be honest with each other? That would eliminate the whole judicial system, right? We would all know if they were guilty or not. So anyway, this deep intuition is also, and so another reason that this feminine energy has been a hard energy to step into, beyond the fact that we've been killed lifetime after lifetime, and then we start bumping up against those energies, and that fear shows up and wants to push it back down. There's another reason, and it kind of links to this, but there's a belief, and it's generally held here in the sixth chakra, where people believe that the feminine energy, and it might not be a conscious thought, it could be just a thought that's held in our energy field, but it's a belief that the feminine energy is a weak energy. And so if you've been killed lifetime after lifetime, that's created a lot of imprints in our energy field that hold this belief in place. And maybe even in this lifetime, you've seen a lot of evidence of weak females on this planet, and you saw them being abused or taken advantage of. And so the belief came to mind that females and the feminine energy, which you would link together, is a weak energy. So I'm curious if you guys have any questions about what we're talking about before we go into clearing this feminine energy so that you can step into more of it. There's some specific places where the feminine energy actually lives, and we're going to access that. So one is in the heart. That's the primary place where this feminine energy lives. And also a lot of it in our second chakra, where all our female organs are, right? So, and it can show up in other places. And as we do the clearing, we'll be able to see where that is. But it's super important that as women are being called forward more now than ever to bring their gifts, their unique gifts. And if you don't know what those are yet, that's part of your journey, is raising your vibrational frequency higher and higher, creating more clarity here at the sixth chakra so that you can see why you're here. What are you meant to bring to this planet? And those gifts are important because everybody has a gift to bring, and we're all here contributing to humanity's growth, expansion, and evolution. So let me check and see if you guys have any questions. Hey Z, nice having you here. And one love, I forget who that is. Roma, great. Champa, and it's also nice to hear where you guys are calling in from. I love my earrings, my eyebrows. They're my real eyebrows. When are you opening up the next week, 6-week reset? Great question, Z. So that'll probably be in, probably not until towards the beginning of May. Haven't decided yet, but keep an eye out for that. We've had a great time this last, which is will be over next week, where we've been launching our Rockets of Desire. So we've had people who are, we have one pregnant gal who has diminished her cysts and fibroids even while she's pregnant. We've have someone else who's exploring the energy of moving to a whole nother place, relationship shifting and changing. Health is on the rise. So lots of really great things happening as everyone is stepping into a little bit more of what they desire. So really exciting. And some thoughts about what the next 6 week reset would be. And it's not always 6 weeks. So just so you know, that I think maybe the initial one was, but the last one we did was only 21 days. So I kind of go by what spirit is guiding as far as even what to do, and how long it should be, when it should be, is all guided by spirit. So, all right, Las Vegas, awesome. My daughter is there visiting. That's why I'm here house sitting. Florida, great. Hey, Jackie from Reno. You're welcome, Jody. I'm glad to have you here. So that's the whole reason is to help us step into more and more of our vibrational frequencies. So if you have someone that you'd love to share this with, we're here every Friday, here doing a live MediClearing on a various subject. And on Tuesdays, I entertain your questions, your specific issues. I take a look, give you a brief energy clearing. And so that's been helping a lot of people. Hey, Terry, good to have you here. From Marin County, my hometown, or home county. And North Carolina, Z, awesome. Okay, great. I don't see any questions about this topic. So that's great. You guys are just ready to step into more of your feminine energy, which, and this doesn't have to do anything with gender. It has nothing to do with gender. And it also has nothing to do with what you're doing and how you behave. It is a way of being. So that's where it is a little different. So both men and women need this. So tell your men friends too, so they can access more of their deep inner knowing and their ability to self-generate love. All right. So, and Roma's from London. Awesome. Always love having Roma here, my lovely assistant. Hey, Bess, good having you here. Yes, Good Friday. Whatever that means. And I grew up without celebrating any holidays. And so a lot of this is like, okay. But for a lot of you, it's a chance to get together with family. And so that's really great. And we always cherish those times. At least those of you who cherish those times, you get together with your family. All right, well, let's go ahead and we're going to do the process called running your energy. It's a process I outline in detail in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, The Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence, available on Amazon. And so if you have trouble following along, I suggest getting that. You could do a digital version, which is very simple, as well as a not hard copy, but a paperback. So let's go ahead and start with establishing that grounding cord, that line of energy that goes from the base of your spine all the way to the center of the planet. And so what I'm doing is I'm tapping into the energies of all those who are here today, as well as those who will be listening to this into the future. Now, that might seem a little out there. This is tapping into my infinite intelligence. So as we establish that grounding cord, make it at least as big as a cantaloupe, so that you can allow yourself to release all of the energies that are not yours. Excellent, great. And now we're going to send roots down from the bottoms of our feet deep into the earth. In fact, it's going to go so far that it's going to go all the way through to the other side of the planet. And then it's going to wrap around the entire earth, where you're going to start bringing up the feminine, abundant earth energy. So this is where feminine energy starts, is when we connect deeply, deeply into our Mother Earth. And we start bringing that energy up through our feet. So it's stopping like like at the tops of your feet. It's kind of stops there. So we want to gently bring that energy up through your ankles so you can have more fun. You can have more fun. And up through the calves where it can clear some of that unused adrenaline that gets stuck in our calves. And then it's going to pass through the knees and through that upper thigh, which is another place where you access more of your power. And then when it gets to the top of your grounding cord, it's going to go down your grounding cord. So we're just going to make a loop of energy where the energy keeps coming up through the legs and down the grounding. And don't get too hung up on the minute details, because as a spirit, you already know this. Your infinite intelligence, that feminine energy, already knows how to do this. Okay, great. And so next, we're going to see if you have a worry circle. Ideally, you would not. It's the circle of energy that radiates around your root chakra and holds all your worry, stress, anxiety, doubts, fears, uncertainty. We're going to go all the way out to the 15th layer of your aura. Just imagine you know where that is. And we're going to start pulling in this circle. And so this relates to the 1% energy. That's that oppressive energy that everyone is feeling on the planet, the energy that has everybody in lockdown and behind these things. So we're just going to pull that energy in, and we're actually going to lift that up through the central core. So Spirit is now guiding us to move these energies off planet. So as we pull that in, we're going to pull it up through the central core and above your head so that we can just send that energy off planet. Okay, great. So you might already start noticing yourself starting to feel calmer, more grounded, more present. So we're just going to let that run on autopilot. There's no effort in this. It just works like gravity. And you're going to start placing your attention above your head. So you have anywhere between 3 and 50 rings. They're golden rings that stack above your head. And these hold your dreams, your desires, your goals, your intentions. So we're going to start connecting with pure source energy as we bring pure source energy down through these creative rings so it can start recalibrating your dreams and your desires in your highest and best interests. So it's come down about halfway through and it's kind of stopping there. So we just let this sit and recalibrate, move out these beliefs, maybe other people's ideas about how you should be living your life, what you should be doing, their goals in your dreams and desires, what they want for you instead of you, what you want for yourself. Okay, great. So we're bringing that pure source energy down through these creative rings. It's coming down into the crown now. So this, right at your crown, is where you give yourself permission to have what you desire in your creative rings. There's also a circle of energy that radiates out from your crown. I call it the permission circle. And this is also out to that 15th layer. So this is where the 1% is trying to hold down your permission, your ability to be sovereign, like the boss of yourself. And we're just going to pull all of this energy in so that it's easier for you to step into your personal power. You don't have to get the approval of everyone else before you decide what to do. Okay, great. And we're going to lift that up and out, sending that off planet. And so if you ever get confused about like which direction to go, what are we doing, where are we going. Use your gifts, your intuition. Like sometimes, so what I'm doing here, this is a template, and it's a place to start. And what you would ideally do, and which many people are, is maybe they see something else, so something a little different, and spirit is telling them to do maybe something a little different. So as long as you're asking, is this direction from pure source energy, then you should follow that intuition, that deep inner knowing. And the reason you have to ask, is this pure source energy, is because a lot of these voices in your head are not yours, and they are not pure source energy. So there's some very dark energies on the planet trying to take people off track, trying to disguise dark energy in light. And so this is all part of tapping into our deep intuition, and deep inner knowing is where we will know the difference. And one way that you can know, besides the fact that you get an immediate yes, that it's pure source energy, is how it feels. It'll feel uplifting. It'll feel supportive. It won't feel scary or doubtful. So that just came to me like information you need to know. So tap into your intuition, but we're using a template here. So as we continue to bring pure source down through the central core, through your sixth chakra, where you see and you have your ability to see energetically, to have that deep inner knowing. I see what you mean, is where that energy is held right here. And so there's a lot of beliefs in here that are not yours right now. The energy goes all the way out to the 15th layer, both front and back. I clear from the sides here. And so we're just going to pull that energy in to the core as we pull those 1% beliefs out of the sixth chakra. So those beliefs would sound like, I have to work really hard and struggle and suffer. Everybody's struggling and suffering. It's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And working really hard. And it's all your fault. That's another one of their beliefs. Okay. So we're going to lift this up through that central core, sending it off planet, because it belongs to that 1% energy in the 15th layer. As we bring pure source down through the central core, through that sixth chakra, down through the throat, it's stopping there. Let's go out to the third layer. So this is, there's a lot of energies. We're going to spend a little extra time here, and I'll tell you why. So one of the most common places people can get killed is right at the throat. So if you've been killed in many, many lifetimes for speaking your truth, for stepping into your power, and you got killed at the throat, then that imprint is right here. That's why so many people struggle with thyroid issues. The thyroid is right in the throat. So we're going to just clear this energy. We're going to spend a little extra time here. There's about 15 lifetimes. I knew that there was a lot here that you're clearing. So just keep breathing and releasing. Breathing and releasing down your grounding. And also, another thing you need to remember, remember about communication. My book outlines about 8 different ways on how this communication works. It's beyond just our voice and being able to project and having a loud enough voice. It also has to do with how we silently telepath and communicate silently with people, with maybe our pets. That's sending and receiving all through this communication space. And being able to hear the communication from the spiritual realm, which is always guiding us, helping us to not feel alone. And so this communication space is very important, far beyond just our words, which are powerful enough. that sends a frequency out into the ethers, out into the world, which will start creating the words that we speak. And also the way that our cells communicate to each other, being able to talk to each other, having really healthy communication, clear flowing, will help all the cells in our body communicate. So that way, when you're 65, like I am, you will look and feel really vibrant. All right, so let's just pull all of this energy. So there's still a lot of energy stuck right here at that third layer. There's a fear entity in here. So we're going to pull this fear entity from this third layer into the core of your throat, and we're going to lift it up and out. So this is what's causing you to feel afraid to speak up and speak your truth. It's causing you to feel like maybe what you say is not important or doesn't matter, or you don't know what you're talking about. That's not your truth, right? That's somebody else's information in there. That's not yours. There we go. So we're just pulling that all the way into the core, this fear entity. We're going to pull it up into that 6th chakra, where it goes all the way out to the 15th layer. So this is who uses these fear entities to try to control humanity, is this 1% energy. So we're going to pull this influence from the 6th layer, both front and back, all the way into the core of that 6th chakra, collecting up all those beliefs that are not yours, that make you afraid to speak up, speak your truth. There's a lot of censoring going on now on the planet, especially on social media, but also in the media in general. Like what's being spewed out in the news is it's not news. It's the brainwashing from 4 corporations. All right, as we pull this energy into that core, I'm going to pull this fear entity up into the crown. Interesting that it goes all the way out to the 25th layer. This is where the fear entities hang out. So they've put a lot of fear right on your crown, where it's pushing down, and it's causing you to be afraid to step into your permission, the permission of, let's see, where, I think this started, was it at the heart? I think this started at the heart. Either way, we're just going to pull all this permission circle at the crown. We're going to pull it all the way in. So right at the 4th layer, it's pulled into the 4th layer now. There's an energy here that's kind of like saying, who do you think you are to think that you can give yourself permission? And if you're feeling afraid, some of you have lost your grounding cord on this. So this is what happens. And this is why we need help, or you need help clearing these energies, is because when you get afraid, when you start to feel the fear that's coming out, your body will contract. So some of you have lost your grounding cord. So let's put that grounding cord. I'm going to help you put that grounding cord back down again. Just keep breathing and releasing. This is real stuff happening in real time. So it's one thing to talk about, different things, talking about do this, think that. In order to ascend, you need to think a certain way, or stop thinking a certain way, or take this action. But if you have too much fear in your energy field, you're not going to be able to do those things that you know you should be doing, or that you know will help you, because of fear. Fear is the virus. Fear is the most effective thing on the planet right now that's stopping everybody. Okay, good. So now you're grounded again. Can you feel that difference? So now let's go back. We're up at the crown, pulling this fear entity out of your crown. We're going to pull it all the way into the core. So right there, it's pulled into that 3rd layer. Just keep breathing and releasing. Make sure you keep grounded. I feel like I'm juggling and patting my head, rubbing my belly at the same time here. Okay, so we're keeping that grounding cord as we're lifting this fear entity now up through the crown, through all of your rings, staying grounded. There we go. There. Now you're starting to feel that difference maybe. Awesome. So now that fear entity is out of your space. Excellent. So as we go back to bringing pure source down through this crown, Christina says, I have fear of stepping into my healing business, confusion, being able to clearly speak my message. Exactly. Well, that's why you're here today, because women are being called into their greatest gifts, but this fear is preventing them. And so, this is really helpful. And so those of you who are enjoying this, that's great. Come back every week. But some of you are ready for something bigger, faster, like that you don't want to mess around. You just really want to go deep and get everything cleared. If that's the case, sign up for my vibrational altitude report, and that's where you really get started. Okay, so as we're bringing pure source down through the 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, it's stopping right at that solar plexus. We're going to go out to that third layer, and we're going to pull in. There's more. This is anger. So there's a lot of anger right here. So this is a common thing that women are doing, which I meant to talk about before, and this is why women need to step into their true power, is too many women are operating through a lot of angry energy, thinking that that's their power, when it's a big energy, but it's not your power. In fact, when it's at the solar plexus, it's stopping you from accessing your real power. So let's pull all of this angry energy into the core, and we're going to drop it down the grounding, because it's a lower vibrating energy, and it keeps you out of the energy, the higher vibrations of joy. I was going to say something else, but of joy, of abundance, of prosperity. And so those are like opposite energies. A lot of you are trying to create businesses, but you're running too much anger through your business, and people are pushing against that. It's a repelling energy. It's not an attracting magnetic energy. So right at that solar plexus, we want a balance of masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy goes out and gets things done, super important. The feminine energy acts like a magnet. This is where things become more effortless, where we pull things towards us like a magnet in no effort. And so super important that you're not working hard for the machine. And this angry energy is what the 1% feeds on anyway. So we don't want to be their diet. So as we're bringing pure source down through the solar plexus, great job, down into that second chakra. Excellent. Let it spill down the root. There. So take a deep breath into that vertical alignment where you're connected way up high to pure source energy and rooted deeply into our Mother Earth. Connected to the heart of our feminine energy is right in the center of this earth. Excellent. Now we're going to mix these two energies, heaven and earth, pure source and earth energy, right where that meets at the root chakra. We're going to mix it together. We're going to bring 50-50 energy, 50-50 mixture up the front, real close to the spine. So it's getting stuck on some fear. So you're still grounded, but make sure the top of your grounding cord is open enough, and let go of that fear. So a lot of you who have maybe had a lifetime of dysfunction and drama and hard knocks, you grew up to thinking that you could control everything, or you just wanted to control everything because you don't want any surprises, right? You don't want to get blindsided again. But part of really stepping into our feminine power is allowing more vulnerability. And that can be really a challenge if there's parts of your energy field that are not really flowing. So we're just drop all that fear as we bring this 50-50 mixture up through the second chakra. So it's stopping right there. And the congestion goes all the way out to the 15th layer. So here's that 1% wanting to create through your second chakra. Let's pull their energy in. So you're creating for yourself. You're manifesting your dreams and desires, not the hard work, struggle, suffer of the 1%. That free range slavery energy. Okay, and then we're going to bring it up through the central core, sending it off planet. Okay, great. So now let's go back to bringing that 50-50 mixture up through the second chakra, up through the solar plexus, up through the heart, where it's congested out to that third layer. So let's pull this energy in so you can connect your power to your heart, to your feminine energy, that deep inner knowing, the ability to self-generate love. So you're not always going on the outside looking for that next person to love you. You come with a full, open, expanded heart that goes out into the world. When you attract from that place, there's no lack. When two people come together from that place, it amplifies and becomes amazing. There we go. So let's bring this 50-50 mixture up through the heart and the throat where it's stopping. Go out that third layer. We're going to pull in that energy that says, don't speak up. Don't speak your truth. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so as we're bringing that up through the throat, 6, where it's stopping again. Let's go out to the third layer. We're going to pull in those beliefs that have you thinking that you're not as powerful as you are. Just going to pull that in. There we go. As we lift this 50-50 mixture up through that 6th chakra, out the crown, through all of your creative rings. You might have even access to more of those creative rings now, which means your creations are going to be faster, more intense, and bigger. And just as a FYI, the rings don't really care what they create. It's just doing its job. So if you have a lot of lower vibrating energies in your energy field, any fear, any anger, it's going to amplify that too. So thus the need to stay clear in our energy, practicing this every single day so that you stay clear. It's not just like a one-time thing, do once in a while. You need to do it on a regular basis. So as this is coming out through all the layers of your aura, fountaining down, there's a lot of energy around the heart. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so to help make this easier for those of you who do want to practice every day, I have a 20-minute meditation that's free, and you can listen to that every day. I just created a new one that's a little more updated. That one is about 2 years old, and I just have to, I wanted to add a little music to it, and just polish it up a little bit, which should be done this weekend. So I already did it. Just have to finish it. So that will also be available soon. But in the meantime, listen to the old one. It still works. And half of it is devoted to raising your money vibrations. So let's focus on the third layer of your aura. We're going to start at the top. So just pretend you know where the third layer is. And a lot of energy right around your throat, where you're still learning to speak up for yourself, and around the heart, all that energy trying to hold down that feminine heart energy. Okay, good. Just keep breathing and releasing. So all of this energy in your aura, when it gets below your feet, it merges with your grounding cord, so it has a place to release to. Excellent. All right. Then let's jump out to the 15th layer where the 1% hangs out. We're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to lift this whole, all the energy in this field all the way up and out. So most of it is up around the 6th and 7th chakra, where it's affecting your ability to see clearly, all that mental fog, and affecting your ability to give yourself permission. 15. And the 20th layer wants to get grounded, so we're going to start at the top. This is the most powerful part of your energy field, or layer of your aura. This is where your innate warrior lives, that awakened predator, like those predator cats that have 360 degrees of awareness around them at all times in every direction, front, back, side, bottom, every direction. It also has access to 360 senses. So that might sound like a lot, and it is. But this is what the Egyptians had access to when their civilization was at its height and the pyramids were fully functioning. So we're grounding this layer. And the more of this layer that you can access, the stronger this layer gets, the more you'll tap into that deep inner knowing. So on our journey of expansion, we're trying to get out to this 40th layer where oneness exists. So not cookie cutter oneness. It's the oneness where we're all made of the same stuff, but we each bring our unique gift, our facet of this beautiful diamond. Okay, so we did the 15th layer. Let's jump out to the 30th layer where the reptilians hang out. As we lift their energy, so a lot of it around the 2nd chakra, where they want to create through us, including anger. They love it when we're angry because this is their diet. Anger, fear, worry. So we're just going to lift their energy up and out of this energy field. Excellent. Sending that off planet. And then the 40th layer wants to get grounded. So that doesn't always show up, but I love it when it does. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to ground this layer. So there's a lot around the heart. So in this 40th layer of oneness, where we really tap into that feminine energy, that deep inner knowing, where in this layer is unconditional love. So there's a lot of heart energy in this layer of oneness. Deep inner knowing, accessing that ability to self-generate love. There's no divisions in this layer of oneness. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, so last but not least, let's clear our circle of reciprocity. It's the energy from the upper 4 chakras, heart, throat, 6, crown, and all of our rings, even if you don't know how many you have. We're going to bring all of that energy out the right arm. So out the right arm. And so it's getting stuck right about here, right at the clavicle, where you've probably have noticed you haven't been giving of yourself, your energies. Maybe it's hard to implement things. And so we're going to bring that energy all the way out that right arm, because receiving starts with giving from the heart. So we're going to start with that heart energy there especially, and bring it out that right arm. as you give of your time, your energies, your love, yourself out into the world. All right, great. And so all of those energies from the upper 4 chakras, all the rings are now coming out that right arm. And then if you put your fingertips together like this, then all of the energies can flow through the palms, but also through all of the fingertips. So we're going to bring that energy into the left receiving feminine energy hand, where you have to allow yourself to surrender. You have to allow yourself to stop controlling everything. And so when you receive, it's not because so much that other people gave or didn't give to you. It's because you allow yourself to receive. So when we take 100% accountability for everything we create, then we know we're in charge of our receiving. Okay, there we go. Through the front and back of the heart. So that's a circle of reciprocity out the right arm, in the left. Through the front and back of the throat. Great. Through the front and back of that 6th chakra, clearing any fogginess or limiting and lack mindsets. Through the crown, giving yourself permission. Through all of your rings, which access your Akashic records. That's all the information you need from the past into the future. Knowing that we create what we desire from the present moment. So when you access your future self, the person that already has everything that you dream about or that you want, and want is not the right word because want means lack. And so maybe you're in wanting. And so let's shift that to all the things you desire. What you desire comes from a more heartfelt place. If you can feel the difference, I desire something or I want something. So being in the present moment. So let's just make sure that you're also in present time. So any energy from the past would be behind you. You would just bring that right above your head. And if you're way out into the future, trying to create from there, actually, some of you are a little bit into the future. So we're going to bring all of that energy out in the future, and we're going to just bring it into present time, right above your crown, so that you can be present. And this is where you create all your changes for the future. And this is where you use your free imagination to imagine and connect with that future self who's already where you want to be. And you can communicate and ask her, how did she get there? And let her inspire you. Let her pull you forward into your dreams and your desires. So for those of you who are interested in a next step, in a bigger step than just what you enjoy here, which I'm so grateful that you all come here and enjoy this and you're benefiting from it. And we're creating real changes, and especially those who show up on Tuesday who ask specific questions and then share the immediate results that they feel and that they actually experience with people across the planet, people I've never met before, people I know nothing about. In fact, this is how I do the temperature report of 40 different things, is I tap into your energy field. I don't need to speak with you. I don't need to know anything about you. And but I'll tell everything about you with these 40 different calibrations. And I tell where all of the blocks are as well. So if you're a healer, you can use this report to find out where you are, use your gifts to create and generate more healing for yourself, but take advantage of the 30-minute conversation that comes with it so that you can see what shift and changes you were able to make. And it offers some suggestions in there about next steps and what I would suggest for you, which could be a vast number of possibilities. So I hope you'll go and enjoy this weekend. I look forward to connecting with you next week. Have a great Easter. And we'll just see what final comments some of you have. Jody says, I love this. Okay, so some people, just share some of the things. Thanks, she says, I look 45. Is this like the Taurus energy field? So yes, we are working with that Taurus energy, absolutely. And solar plexus was churning. Great. That's great. I felt it release. Awesome. I felt vibration in my crown chakra. I felt a lump in my throat when you mentioned anger in our business. Super helpful. Great, Christine. I'm glad you were helped by this. And you're also very welcome. Yes, enjoy your weekend. I love this. I get amazing results from listening to these beautiful lives. Thank you so much. I'll be sharing with my Reiki students. Absolutely. Because, you know, there's lots of ways of being able to tap into your feminine energy where you can heal yourself. And so this is a template that I offer. And for those of you who want the next step, get your temperature report and enjoy your weekend. So happy Easter. Sending much love. I'll meet you here next week. Namaste.